You've probably experienced it. You've gone for a walk or your usual run around your local park, and some way in, you're suddenly hit with an intense amount of pain in your calf, hamstrings, or quads that stops you in your tracks. If you've ever experienced muscle cramps before, it's estimated that around 95% of us will experience it at some point. In this video, I'm going to go through what causes muscle cramps and how you can fix this yourself naturally. Let's begin. There are many causes of a muscle spasm, but probably one of the most common is an excessive use of a muscle, which typically occurs during a long football match or towards the end of a marathon. This causes the muscle to enter into a state of fatigue, which causes the undesired spasm. It can be also caused by a muscle injury, dehydration, a loss of one of the vital minerals that is essential for the proper functioning of the muscle, such as a loss of magnesium, potassium, calcium or sodium. A lack of blood supply to the muscle can also cause it to spasm, which can occur in medical conditions such as atherosclerosis, where you get a blockage of the artery that's going to the muscle, or it can be caused by tight clothing higher up, which can reduce the blood flow to the muscle, and certain medications can also have the undesired side effects of a muscle spasm. So what should you do if you get a muscle spasm? Well, one of my first suggestions would be to stretch that muscle. So I'm first going to go through how you can stretch your calf and your hamstrings, which is usually the more common area to get a cramp in. And then I'll also go through how you can also stretch your quads. So the first way is going to be a static stretch. So what you're going to do here is sitting on the floor, keep your knees and back straight, and then simply lean forwards. And you can also grab the affected foot and just very slightly bring it towards you. You should feel the stretch at the back of the calf and the hamstrings. You can also do this one standing up with, again, your knee and your back straight, and then pointing your toe upwards slightly and just leaning in will just give that nice stretch at the back. To do this dynamically, you can stand half a meter away from the wall, putting the affected foot against the wall with the toes slightly pointing upwards. Put your hands so they're in the press up position against the wall, and then very slowly bringing your nose towards one hand and then back and then to the other hand. Just make sure you're going with your whole body with this one and you're not just bending from your spine. I suggest repeating this about 10 times on each side or until you start to feel the symptoms relief. Then for the quads, what you can do is in the standing position is simply to bring your heel towards your buttocks, keeping your knees relatively close together, and hold this one for about 20 to 30 seconds or until you start to feel some relief into that muscle. My second suggestion would be to apply heat onto the muscle. Heat can be very good because it increases the blood flow to that muscle and therefore encourages it to heal. So you can either directly place a heat pack onto the affected area, or you can simply take a hot bath, which will just help to relax those muscles. Number 3 would be to replace the mineral that you're missing that is causing the dysfunction in the muscle. So if you're susceptible to muscle cramps, it could be because you're deficient in either magnesium, potassium, calcium or sodium. Now most likely this is going to be magnesium, because a large percentage of us are generally deficient in this mineral because it's not so proliferous within our Western diet. So I would start by increasing the levels of magnesium in your diet. You can either do this by eating foods that are generally high in magnesium, such as nuts, avocado and dark chocolate, or if you need to, you can also take some supplements that will help to just boost your levels of magnesium. I'll put a link in the description below of a supplement that I recommend, because there are a whole variety of supplements and some are just generally better than others. Number 4 is to make sure you stay well hydrated, particularly if you're susceptible for muscle spasms, because a lack of water makes you much more susceptible to muscle spasms. So drinking 1.5 to 2 liters a day, but if you are exercising intensely, then you need to make sure that you increase the levels of water that you're taking in relation to the level of intensity of exercise that you're doing. Number 5 would be to get yourself checked by a chiropractor or somebody who specializes in the joints, muscles and nervous system. This is because if you're susceptible to muscle spasms in certain areas, this could be due to a dysfunction in that muscle that needs treating, or the surrounding joints that's putting excess stress on that muscle, which makes the muscle very susceptible to a muscle spasm. And number 6 would be to check your medications. So if you are taking any medications, and particularly if the muscle spasm started to get worse at the time of taking the medications, then I suggest consulting your GP to see if any of these medications is causing it, and to perhaps reduce the amount that you're taking or alter the medication if that's possible. I hope you found this useful. Please hit that like button if you found value from this video. Subscribe for new videos every single week, and I will see you on the next one.